Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do a quick EDC update. So I guess this will be my July EDC update. It's a little early, but I got some cool stuff. So this is what I carried today. I was in the office today, and I think I had a pretty sweet loadout today. So there we go. That's what my pockets were full of. I'm not going to show you my keys or anything like that, but this is my primary stuff, right? I always have two knives, a left-handed pocket knife, either a slip joint up there that doesn't require a clip, or a lefty knife or lefty clip knife, and then either a slip joint in the back left pocket or sort of side pocket, and or a clipped right-handed knife. So depending on what kind of clips I have, left or right, I switch that around, right? And then I can throw a slippy in the front or the back, and it makes it all work. In this case, I haven't had a slip joint in pocket for a couple of days because I've been really excited about these two knives. I have my usual flashlight, the CWF Micro Click. This one has the Zircuti clip. It is titanium with a DLC finish or coating that is Zer-blasted. Absolutely love this. I did chip it just a little bit with a knife during a live stream. But I've had this one since Blade Show, and it has not left my pocket. I've been rocking this one instead of my titanium one. I think I might have chipped it again here. I guess we're going to find out how wear resistant this DLC is, because I absolutely punish these flashlights. You can ask Charles from CWF. I have sent in my fair share of warranty stuff because I just carry them every day, and they're in and out of pocket. They get use, they get dropped, they get beat up, you know, it's how it goes. But I love this flashlight to death. And then I have the new Fidget Things switch. Fidget, which is really damn cool and has become something I am addicted to. I want to get another one so I can set it up for clicky. This is the silent switch. But I want to put, it came with both, but I want to have both just set up. So I'm going to try to get another one, maybe with some fancier materials, even though this is aluminum and then Zerk. But that way I'll have a clicky one, and then I'll have this one I can take in the office. You can hear it ring even. I don't know if you catch the ting. So cool. It has the Fidget Things logo right here, and then it's also engraved or milled in down here, which is very cool. And then, like I said, this is Cerakoted aluminum on the case, or in the case, which you know, makes it super lightweight. And then you have a zirconium polished cap, which is very cool. I just learned that. I thought it was also DLC, or sorry, Cerakoted aluminum, but he told me this was zirconium. He sent this to me, which was very nice of Derek over there. And I love this thing, guys. You can check out the website. I think that's all sold out currently. But he's always adding more stuff, doing more stuff. He had like Ultim ones and other cool things. He has affordable ones all the way down to like $10, all the way up to, you know, hundreds. So you can pick your poison, but it's basically a mechanical keyboard switch that he puts into this body, and then he has different types of caps that you add on. And it's very addicting. And when you're in the office, you can just do this. You don't have to be loud. And then when you're in the car, you can, you know, do that. So I really enjoy that. It's very small. I mean, it just dropped in my right front pocket. I didn't even notice it, honestly. I thought that would be more of a thing, but it's perfectly fine in pocket. You guys know about the light. I love it. Have it set to 15 and 100, and that is it. Simple, easy, works like a goddamn charm. The knives. So this is what we really were here for, right, folks? These two have surprised the ever-loving out of me. So let's talk about this one first. Recon 1 is a dealer, and they sell a lot of Shirogorov knives. And if I hear another person say this is a Shirogorov, I am going to flip shit. This is not a Shirogorov, nor does it even remind me of a Shirogorov. I think people have a misunderstanding of Shirogorovs. There is a certain design language for Eastern Europe, in my opinion, and that stems into Russia as well. But if you're looking at Belarus, the Ukraine, and Russia, designers from those areas tend to have design cues that look like this. They have some swoopage. They have some Persian-y style blades a lot of times. You might see a poon here and there. Very classy looking knives. And I think a lot of people just say, oh, that's Shirogorov. But no, it's Eastern European / Russian, right? That's the way I look at it. So this was designed by somebody in Belarus, or a Belarusian designer that worked with Recon 1. This is actually called the Reconnaissance Knives Adzin Flipper, A-D-Z-I-N, Adzin Flipper. And if I had to venture to guess, it would be that Sinkovich designed this. I think Dmitry Sinkovich designed this knife, and they just aren't saying who it is because maybe, he has a deal with Shiro or something like that. But if you guys notice, I haven't seen him do anything with like ZT in a while or anything. So I think he's kind of like an in-house Shiro guy now. And maybe he lended a hand with this and they just can't say who it is. But that's my best guess. So if you want to say it looks like a Shiro, it's really because it looks like a Sinkovich or a Eastern European of influence design. So I just hate the Shiro thing. And I'm not a Shiro guy, so I think that's part of it. Like, I don't know every Shiro. I haven't handled every Shiro. And I honestly don't care that much about Shiros because of the price point to what I perceive as what I'm getting. Flipper-only stuff on loose bearings and spinning pivots and stuff like that. I just don't agree with a lot of that stuff. So I don't pay too much attention to Shiro, and I think that's why I have a different perception of it than a lot of people who do pay attention and are like, oh, it's a Shiro. So anyway, I just want to put that out there. But I absolutely love this knife. This is made by Riot. So it's OEM by Riot. And it's an M390 in titanium. It's milled to the absolute gills. The frame lock, the bar on the frame lock is milled out. Every piece of possible, like everything's milled. It's amazing. The clip is perfect. It works amazingly well. It has a spinning pivot, which again is another thing, to Shiro, and oh my god, spinning pivot. I actually like spinning pivots because I put spinning pivots second on my list of pivots. This is going to sound weird, but I have a list of what I like in pivots. The first one is captive, okay? So when I say captive, though, I don't mean like this. This has a D shape. There's a D shape that goes through, right? So the barrel is essentially D-shaped, or part of it is. And then there's a D shape on this side that D goes into, and then you screw this side in. So this side doesn't spin while you're tightening that, and that's why you can have a logo over here versus a screw, right? By the way, this is the EMP EDC relative, and I got a Zircuitite clip that looks fucking awesome. Yep, banger. But that's a D-shaped pivot. A captive pivot is here. This is a captive pivot. At least I think it is. And essentially the pivot is an odd shape, so it keeps the barrel from spinning, right? So the barrel is affixed to this square, right? It's like welded on or milled out of it or lathe. I don't know how the hell they do it. But the point is the barrel and this square are connected, right? It can't loosen. And then that barrel goes through here, and because it's a square over here, obviously it can't spin. So then you just tighten this, and you have no chance of this spinning and causing issues. And you only have to worry about Loctiting this side or whatever, right? And that is a captive pivot. You'll see a lot of people like Civivi, and we use it a lot, where they have a little notch on the inside of the scale on this side, so that the logo pivot, the one that says the C or the we on it, has a little cutout for it, or a notch, and that'll notch in as the barrel goes in. So that's what keeps it from spinning. And then that barrel is affixed to that captive area, right? And that is the best type of pivot system, in my humble opinion. The next best is a spinning pivot. Because, hear me out, because it's a full circular barrel that goes through the blade and the scales. And then you have 2 screws, one on each side, that has tooling. So you can functionally, it's very easy to operate. You can tighten this side and you can tighten that side. And sometimes they even weld or affix the barrel to one of the sides, and you don't even really have to worry about it. It just goes through, and then you just have to keep a tool in here so that when you're tightening this side, it doesn't spin. That's the downside to a spinning pivot. But the plus side is there's a full circular barrel that goes through the blade and the scales. That's how the captive pivot is too. A full circular barrel goes through. I know I'm getting in the damn weeds here, but I really want to show you my point. And the D-shaped pivot, in my opinion, comes last. And obviously, okay, let me take it back. The absolute last is like where you have no tooling over here and it's a spinning pivot. That's just stupid. That's not really a style of pivot. That's just stupidity when a company does a spinning barrel or a spinning pivot like this and then they don't tool one side. That's just dumb. That's not really a style. So you really have captive D-shape and you have spinning, right? With tooling on both sides. Here's an example. So this is a pivot from actually one of our knives, the Stout. And yes, I am literally calling myself out here and saying our knives have my 3rd favorite or least favorite type of pivot. Something we're trying to change as we move forward, but this is why, okay? So this goes through the frame, through the blade, and into the other frame, and there's a little D shape on the other frame, right? So it goes through, locks into that little thing, and then this gets screwed in on this side. So theoretically, you should only have to worry about tightening this screw. This shouldn't spin at all because it's locked into that frame, right? Now, there can be issues with that where it doesn't seat all the way and then it does spin and there's other shit, you know. Sometimes you can have the D-shape start on this side or that side. That's not the problem here. The problem is the blade is now riding on a 3/4 circle, right? So look, circular, 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 circular. Oh, flat. Right? So if I put a blade through this, what are you going to see? You're going to see light of day in certain areas where this isn't circular. So it's not fitting perfectly into that pivot hole in the blade. Why is that an issue? Well, it can make it where the action isn't perfect because, you know, like the blade is riding and then it hits this flat spot and it can kind of make it a little weird, right? Another reason is it could cause pivot lash, which is the biggest reason I hate it. And I will show you real quick what pivot lash is. I haven't really experienced pivot lash, as far as I can remember, on a spinning barrel knife. If I grab a Vero, because they tend to be on Veros, which Veros use a D-shaped pivot, and pivot lash is where you can actually, I don't know if you can hear it. I'll try to zoom in. You hear that? That's because the hole for the pivot in the blade is slightly bigger than the actual pivot. And maybe, honestly, the hole isn't bigger than the pivot, but the pivot is D-shaped. So if it falls in the wrong spot or whatever, you can literally feel the blade. Like I can move the blade in and out. I don't know if you can see it moving at all. But I can hear it. And is that like some big functional issue? Really? No, but it's sort of just a nuisance, annoyance type thing. And those are the reasons D-shaped pivots are not my favorite, and the reason why spinning pivots actually aren't that bad to me. The downside with a spinning pivot is you have to worry about putting tooling on both sides, and having a, you know, a driver on both sides. However you do that, I recommend the skiff tool. And then the other problem is, obviously, it's not as pretty. It's not as pretty as a blank pivot, a logoed pivot, a square pivot, whatever, right? So anyway, now that I've discussed that in stupid length, I love this knife. It's fantastic. I put multi-row bearings in it. You'll see or have seen the disassembly video, and yeah, I love it. I've just really enjoyed it. I've carried it for I think 3 straight days now. Haven't wanted to take it out of pocket. It kicked the gunslinger out of my pocket, so I could review it. I love the finish on this. It's just absolutely fantastic finish on the handle. It kind of does remind me of what Jack Wolf does, like an aluminum oxide blast. Okay, so that's the adds-in flipper. And then lastly, I had the Axial knives. I don't even think they're going by Axial Gear anymore. Axial knives Shift in my pocket. And guys, this thing has surprised the shit out of me. If you saw the unboxing, these little marks are kind of gone now. They're not black anymore. There's just 2 little pricks there. That's what she said from these, but no big deal. I flipped it over to Lefty. Spring is money. A little bit stiffer than like my live wire, but I'm fine with it. It's not like too stiff or anything. And this Wharncliffe blade is absolutely sexy as hell. Yeah, I would love to see a little more blade to handle ratio, but it's honestly not like noticeably like bad to me or anything. I like it. I love this knife. They did a great job. This is Magna Cut. I did confirm with them. It's at 62 HRC, so it's just at the cusp of like acceptable for people, I think. For me, that's perfectly fine. Love the Wharncliffe blade. Love the size. Fits my hand well. Would love to see like a smaller version of this. Kind of like a UTX 85 version. Would be cool. But yeah, this is probably my favorite American-made OTF currently. It boots the live wire for me just because of the styling. Just the way it looks so clean like this. It doesn't have like humps and bumps and shit like a lot of OTFs do. It's just straightforward, sexy. And then the teal Cerakote is gorgeous. Just stunning. I kind of want to get a purple one now too, just to have both, because I love these sort of bright colors. But yeah, the Shift here is an absolute banger. And I think these are available in a few different configurations on their website. I do have an affiliate code. I don't know if I have a link, but you can use Lefty10 over there, and that'll save you 10% off your order. These are $300, I think, so that'll save you $30. It's a pretty good chunk of change. So, yeah, that's the Axial Gear Shift, and my sweaty hand is struggling with it right now. It's not that strong. It's fine. But, yeah, banger. Front left pocket, side pocket in the front, or side pocket in the left, right front pocket, and then right front pocket as well. So there's my EDC update for July 2023. Let me know what you guys have in your pockets this month. Anything new, anything cool you want to talk about, leave it in the comments. I appreciate any comment you guys can leave. It does help the algorithm. Like the video, subscribe, join memberships, super thanks, all that kind of stuff helps the channel immensely and helps me get closer to going full time. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.